Alright, good afternoon. Today is Friday, April 6th, 2018. So this video is going to be actually 100% dedicated to price. The more I read on Discord, the more I read on Slack, on Reddit, news articles, and the more I watch on YouTube, the more I'm convinced as well that, again, we're at a critical point in terms of price here. And really the last time this happened was back a few weeks ago towards the last week or two of March. And that's where myself, as well as some other people, were saying that we weren't going to be trading in this small range for very long. We were either going to break up or we're going to break down. Unfortunately, obviously what happened was we broke down. The difference this time is that it's more critical because we're so close to testing those lows from the beginning of February. You can see this on Litecoin's chart, and you can see it on Bitcoin's chart as well. Bitcoin's low is 6,000. Bitcoin's actually sitting at 6,463, so not very far off. Litecoin's low is about 104, 103. I believe we even touched at 100 on some exchanges. But at that time, we did bounce off the 200-day moving average. And now we find ourselves below the 200-day moving average, and we have been for over a week now. We are most likely not going to be trading sideways for very long. And either we're going to be breaking up or breaking down. And again, so the purpose of this video is really to illustrate and to make sure you have a plan for either of these possible scenarios. That we do have a bounce off 110, 105-ish and start a new uptrend. That we continue trading sideways and really never touch that low, but really don't go up either. And the third is if we break through that low. And if we would break through that low of 104, 103, 100 and go below 100, it would be good to show us, just how resilient the market is, to see if people are really willing to buy at that price, to see how high it can bounce. Because again, when we had that at the beginning of February, and we touched on 100. First we had the low of 108, and then a few days went by and we had the low of about 104, 103, like I said, 100 on some exchanges. But immediately we did have a significant bounce, and we had much more volume come in that we were seeing the previous few weeks. And currently, we are in the same situation. This time though, we're trading for much longer and much lower prices. So it's really hard to speculate whether we're going to have a nice bounce like that again, or whether we're going to go below 100. And if we do go below 100, I think the beneficial part of that is we'll see just how resilient the market is right now. As well, it'll present a really good buying opportunity, potentially, granted that it doesn't go way below 90 or 85. But again, it's really hard to perceive and kind of see what's going on right now. And the majority of videos that I've watched this morning are basically saying to have a plan, to be prepared, to know what you're going to do if the price goes up, and to know what you're going to do if the price goes down. Again, this is a key moment. But really, it's hard to tell, and we'll come back to that. But I want to read this article real quickly. It has to do with price. It's called Litecoin Price Prediction, Litecoin Grossly Undervalued Compared to Ripple and Bitcoin Cash. Again, this is written by Pawasha Saim. This is maybe the fourth or fifth article that I've incorporated of hers into my videos. I just always like her information. I honestly usually read at least half the article before realizing it's her. And at this point, I'm not really shocked because I'm always just so impressed. I really do like her quality of writing and her topics and everything. So we're inching closer and closer to seeing Charlie Lee's prediction come true this year. So this part of the article just references the flappening, which is Litecoin gaining on Bitcoin Cash. And if we just want to go to their website really quick, we're really close to that all-time high again, 61%. Bitcoin Cash at 10.3 billion. Litecoin only 4 billion under at 6.3 billion. And so we can skip over that part, but I did find this part interesting as well. Nobody can question the first half of the prophecy now, giving the gaping disparity between the two top cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you all know, I don't think Ethereum is holding up very well. Just 2 months ago, Ethereum was trading at nearly 4 times its current price, and the flippening, Ethereum's market value surpassing that of Bitcoin, seemingly had very high odds. Today, however, the possibility seems trivial. But through this time, Litecoin has held out against its arch-rival Bitcoin Cash, another so-called pure cryptocurrency that touts itself as the best alternative to Bitcoin. Oh wait, scratch that. Bitcoin Cash actually purports itself as the real Bitcoin, a claim that Charlie Lee, Litecoin lovers, and nearly all of the cryptocurrency community have a problem with. I think that's funny, and I think that's true as well. Again, I asked this question maybe a month ago if anybody knew of any Bitcoin Cash only YouTube channels or anything, because I was just interested to see what they had to talk about on a daily basis, or even if they even existed. And many people basically said, they weren't aware of any Bitcoin Cash only YouTube channels. So I think it's common consensus that really Bitcoin Cash is not the real Bitcoin, and I think that goes without saying. With investors gradually coming to terms with the fact that Bitcoin Cash is grossly overvalued compared to the more scalable and cost-efficient Litecoin, The flattening is seeming like a near possibility. We're more than halfway there, 61% to be precise. You see, just by riding on Bitcoin's coattails, Bitcoin Cash has managed to attain a valuation it may otherwise be unworthy of. And so we can skip down here to the analyst take price prediction. Litecoin's price performance is a reflection of the broad cryptocurrency market, but is in no way a good barometer of its true potential. As Litecoin price struggles to establish a floor, I remain optimistic in my Litecoin price prediction in hopes that the market will consider the hard facts and Litecoin prices will travel back to a price target of 400. And I think that's actually the same prediction that I read a few days ago when I read her last article. But again, that's good points, specifically about Ethereum and then countering Litecoin, specifically about Bitcoin Cash. But, you know, another good piece of information and good piece of news for Litecoin, this was announced yesterday by Coinbase. It's introducing Coinbase Ventures. That's not what I'm going to be talking about, but I had heard that, you know, Coinbase, of course, was questioned about whether or not they were adding new coins this year and what coins they would be. But basically, Coinbase said that they are going to be adding new coins, but currently they're comfortable with the coins they have listed now. And the reason they said they're comfortable is in terms of regulation and everything. And so they feel confident that Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and for some reason Bitcoin Cash are more safe in terms of regulation and everything regarding legality. But again, you know, moving on to the hourly of Litecoin, I tweeted out yesterday just how close for almost 48 hours Litecoin was trading in this very tight range here. And usually when you see that happen, it's indicative of, you know, a similar situation that we're anticipating now. And what ended up happening was that Litecoin's price broke down. And so if we look more on a macro scale here on the daily chart, overall we're kind of seeing the same situation, and I think we're going to see the same exact thing very soon. Either a break up or a break down. Remember last time this happened, you know, towards the middle of February, we ended up jumping from $160 to almost $250. Actually, we did go a little past $250 on February 20th. That was short-lived though. But we did end up having a huge reversal here. And again, so the reason I bring this up is to kind of pose the question, if Litecoin would go under 100, do you know what you would be doing? And if Litecoin would jump up to, you know, 200, 220 within the next few days to a week or two, would you know your plan then? Because I really do believe, you know, this is the time when you should be developing a plan, or you should already have a plan. If you were to ask, you know, which do I think is more likely? You know, if I'm being optimistic, I really think there's no way to go but up. But just being realistic and honest with myself based on what's been happening the past few months, I think it is possible in the short term that we could go below 105. Definitely possible we could end up testing 100. And a lot of people are saying, you know, even simple technical analysis isn't really valid right now, isn't really working because of manipulation and everything that's been going on. And so I think the only valid way to try to predict, or at least prepare for what's going to be happening, is to be aware that most likely within the next few days, or even sooner than that, we end up breaking above this and trying to retest the resistance here at the bottom of this triangle around, you know, 130, 135 like we did a few days ago. Or we break below what we're currently at, about 112, 111, dip down to 105, 100 worst case. And if we would break 100, of course, who knows exactly where the next support would be. But again, it is Friday, which traditionally is a better day in terms of price action. But yeah, it's hard to tell. I'm sure many of you will just be holding, and for the most part, that's what I'll be doing as well. But like I said, about that 5% of my Litecoin, I'm dabbling around with a little bit. But yes, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like, and I hope you have a great weekend.